The universe has places that were clearly never meant for life, and then there is Kerberos Prime. It's a rock orbiting a neutron star, a pulsar that spins 300 times a second, sweeping the system with a lighthouse beam of concentrated gamma-ray death every 90 minutes. There is no atmosphere to breathe, only a thin haze of ionized metallic dust. The surface is a nightmare landscape of crystallized silicon and heavy metals, fused together by eons of radiation bombardment. The Federation calls it a Class 0 exclusion zone. Standard doctrine says nothing can survive there. Standard doctrine is wrong. Life found a way, and that life is the reason we were sent in. The Federation lost a deep survey probe carrying vital data on pulsar stabilization harmonics. It crashed right in the middle of the gamma fields. They couldn't send drones. The radiation fried their guidance chips in seconds. They couldn't send standard Marines. Their armor would become radioactive coffins before they walked a mile. They sent the 9th Hazard Retrieval Unit. They call us the lead heads. I'm Captain Jax Vorlin, and I've spent half my career wearing armor heavy enough to crush a civilian vehicle. Our suits are Mark XI rad sarcophaguses, layered with depleted uranium mesh, lead foil and active magnetic deflector shielding. We don't walk on Kerberos Prime, we lumber. Every movement is a fight against the suit's weight and the magnetic drag of the pulsar. But the armor isn't the most important piece of kit we carry. The most important piece is the helmet visor. On Kerberos Prime, your eyes are useless. The background radiation is so high that standard thermal or night vision is just blinding white noise. And the locals, the things that evolved here, they don't reflect visible light. They are called gamma stalkers. They are ambush predators composed of highly energized, exotic matter that feeds directly on the pulsar blasts. To the naked eye, they are completely invisible. They are ghosts made of poison. You wouldn't know one was there until it tore through your suit and let the radiation finish the job. To fight an invisible enemy, you have to change the way you see. Our visors are equipped with Geiger-Sight. We don't see light, we see radiation intensity mapped to a color spectrum. The cold, dead rock looks dull blue. The background radiation is a hazy green fog. But a living thing, something with a metabolism based on high-energy particles, glows like a bonfire. The hotter they are, the brighter the orange and red. We dropped onto the surface during the lull, the 45-minute window between the direct pulsar sweeps. The silence inside the suit was broken only by the rhythmic, terrifying clack-clack-clack of my integrated Geiger counter, a sound that never truly stopped on this world. My squad, Vesper, Kale and Stillion, landed around me, their heavy boots cracking the glassy surface. "Check sights," I ordered, my voice sounding flat and metallic in the comms. "Don't trust your eyes. Trust the colors. If it glows red and moves, you put a slug in it." The probe crash site was 2 clicks east, through a jagged canyon formed by crystallized iron. We moved in a staggered column, weapons ready. We didn't carry energy weapons. Lasers just get scattered by the radiation fog. We carried heavy, hydraulic-assisted rotary cannons firing solid tungsten slugs the size of soda bottles. Simple. Heavy. Kinetic. The canyon was a maze of shadows and blinding reflections from the distant star. Through my visor, the world was a nauseating acid trip of swirling greens and blues. The stress of watching a world that didn't look real was enough to break an untrained mind. Contact left. Vesper yelled. I spun around. With my naked eye looking through the backup optical slit, I saw nothing, just empty, jagged rocks. But when I engaged the Geiger-Sight, the world shifted. Emerging from the canyon wall was a swirling nightmare of bright orange and angry red. The Gamma Stalker was massive, a quadrupedal horror that looked like a flayed wolf made of pure energy. It was clinging to the rock, its body pulsing with the stored energy of the last gamma burst. It had been tracking us, perfectly camouflaged against the radioactive background noise until it got too close. "Light it up," I roared. We opened fire. The canyon echoed with the thunderous thumping of the rotary cannons. The tungsten slugs hammered into the glowing shape. When they hit, the creature didn't bleed, it erupted. Each impact caused a violent discharge of stored gamma radiation, brilliant flashes of blinding white light on our visors that momentarily washed out the sensors. The creature shrieked, a sound that was just intense radio static blasting over our comms. It lunged, moving with terrifying speed for something made of energy. It hit Stillion's position, knocking the 2-ton trooper onto his back. We saw the creature's claws, glowing white-hot on the sensors, tear at his outer lead shielding. "Hold the line. Focus fire on the center mass," I commanded, advancing while firing. We poured hundreds of rounds into the beast. Its glow began to flicker, shifting from angry red to a dull, dying orange as its energy cohesion failed. With a final, massive burst of static, the creature dissolved, its energy dissipating into the background fog, leaving only scorched rock behind. Stillion sat up, his suit scarred but intact. Armor integrity at 80%, Captain. That was too close. My rad alarm is screaming. Walk it off, Leadhead, I said, helping him up. We have 20 mics before the next pulse cooks us all. Move. We pushed forward, fighting through 2 more ambushes. The stalkers were everywhere, blending into the radioactive hotspots, waiting for us to pass. We learned to read the environment, to look for the subtle shifts in the green fog that indicated a hunter in wait. We weren't soldiers anymore, we were hunters tracking ghosts in a nuclear winter. We reached the probe. It was embedded in a crater of fused glass. Vesper went to work extracting the data core while Kale and I held the perimeter. The clack-clack-clack of the Geiger counters was speeding up. The lull was ending. The pulsar was swinging back toward us. 5 minutes to gamma emergence, the orbital overwatch warned. Get clear, Unit 9. Vesper time. I shouted, scanning the ridges. My visor was starting to fill with static as the ambient radiation climbed. Got it? Core secured, she yelled, pulling the shielded unit free. We've got company. 12 o'clock high. Kale called out. On the ridge above the crater, a massive signature appeared on the Geiger-Sight. It was an alpha, twice the size of the others, glowing a furious, blinding white-hot. It was so radioactive that standing near it unshielded would liquefy a human in seconds. It roared its static scream and charged down the slope, followed by a pack of smaller stalkers. Standard loads won't drop that thing fast enough. I realized. Switch to depleted uranium rounds. We need mass. We loaded the heavy ammo. The recoil was enough to stagger us even in the suits. We hammered the charging alpha. The DU rounds didn't just hit, they punched deep into its energy matrix, disrupting its core. It was a brutal, chaotic melee at the bottom of the crater, man and machine against living radiation. We were firing blindly into blinding light, trusting the colors on our screens. The sky above us began to turn a lethal, electric blue. The pulsar beam was hitting the upper atmosphere. Extraction inbound. Hot pickup. Move your asses, Leadheads, the pilot screamed over the comms. Our dropship, heavily shielded and flying low, roared over the canyon lip, its engines kicking up a storm of radioactive glass. We retreated under fire, backing up the ramp as the Alpha made one final lunge. I fired my last belt into its gaping maw, the creature exploding into a localized mushroom cloud of gamma energy just feet from the ramp. As the door sealed and we blasted into orbit, I watched the external camera feed. The pulsar beam hit the surface. The entire world turned blinding white. Down below, in the gamma fields, the stalkers were emerging from their dens, bathing in the lethal light, feasting on the energy that would kill anything else in the galaxy. We sat in the hold of the dropship, listening to the fading clack-clack-clack of our sensors, holding a data core that cost more than a battleship. We were battered, irradiated, and exhausted. But we had won. Humanity had proven the ultimate feral frontier truth. The universe can throw environments at us where light is poison and the enemy is invisible. It can create worlds where the very act of seeing is impossible. But we are the species that refuses to be blind. If we can't see you with the eyes we were born with, we will build new eyes. We will map your invisible world in colors of death, and we will hunt you down in your own backyard. The Gamma Stalkers were the ghosts of Kerberos Prime, but today they learned that the Leadheads are the real monsters in the dark. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. If it bleeds, we can kill it. If it glows, we can kill it faster. If you enjoyed this high radiation hunt, smash that like button before the gamma burst hits. Comment below. What's the most extreme environment you think humans could adapt to fight in? Subscribe for the next story in the Feral Frontier saga. The Meat Factory. The radiation is clearing. The hunt is over.